Hello, I'm Mike Gordon, and welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Pokemon Gold and Silver. It's been a little while since I last played these two games, but in the previous few episodes, as well as in Red and Blue, I traded the entire Gen 1 exclusive, all 18 Gen 1 exclusives over to Gen 2, including Mewtwo, who I'm going to be using for the rest of the game. And oh yeah, it's Sunday, a week later. Here are the remaining phone number slots. And we have our 8 badges. So I'm going to do a couple things quickly before we move on with the game. And on this account, Silver's going to get a head start. I need the pink apricorn, and I need to pick up the heavy ball from Kurt. And because it's gold and silver, I have to leave and re-enter before getting him to take another apricorn off my backs. I want to give him the pink apricorn. And silver's gonna remain noticeably ahead of gold the rest of the way because I actually came more prepared in silver than I did in gold. Again, I tend to play gold before silver. So, and what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna save my game one file in front of the Pokemon Center, the other at the Pokemart. In hindsight, I should have just done the Pokemart in gold. And I'm gonna show off my recently traded Mewtwo to nab TM27, which is Frustration, which requires Pokemon with low happiness rankings to be your lead Pokemon in order to obtain. If you have a Pokemon with high happiness, then she'll give you Return instead. You can only get one of these TMs per Sunday. So I'm going to perform the duplication trick in order to ensure that Mewtwo here, I get now both TMs in one go. So I'm going to dupe this Mewtwo because I actually need to dupe this Mewtwo. So, silver is way ahead of gold at this point. So, TM27 is Return, which boosts the power of your Pokemon, which increases in power based on how much your Pokemon loves you, versus Frustration, which increases in power depending on how much your Pokemon hates you. And you can only get these TMs once per one of these two TMs once per Sunday. And furthermore, we need Togetic to nab Return because Togetic is the Pokemon with max happiness. So I want to move the Mewtwo over to his box while the one that's not holding anything, the one holding the Bright Powder into box 141 and 160 between Dragonite and Mew. While gold and silver are going to... While the Mewtwo holding the TM for Frustration goes into my party, so I could quickly give him the Amulet Coin. Honestly, it's not a terrible thing that Silver's so far ahead of Gold, because what this means is I can actually capture all the Pokemon I need to capture ahead of time. So Mewtwo is going to be the Pokemon I will be battling with for the rest of the game, for the rest of these two playthroughs. Even as I go ahead and battle and defeat every single trainer in the Kanto and Johto regions. Now technically we've beaten all the the initial teams in Pokemon's Gold and Silver, but we haven't battled any of their third rematch teams. We'll worry about the third rematch teams in a later episode. I'll go use Surf. Alright. Ethan found rare candy. Arscon, wanna use Surf? Sure thing. And I'm going to go ahead and it was very easy I missed that rare candy. Now, something worth noting that I'm going to need to address is that Gold and Silver kind of have very weird encounter charts that are oddly different from one another in routes 26 and 27. And it's not just to make room for the version exclusive Sand Slash in Gold or the version exclusive Arbok in Silver. And trying to make room for these two Pokemon in each of these routes, they kind of altered the encounter charts in both in the other routes, so that one Pokemon in particular can only be found on Route 27, but in, say, Pokemon Gold, whereas in Pokemon Silver, you can only encounter on Route 20. Actually, it's the other way around. It's Route 26, you can capture a specific Pokemon Route 27, whereas that Pokemon is not available on Route 26, but Pokemon Gold, for some reason, it's the other way around. You have to capture that Pokemon on Route 26 alongside the other Pokemon that we need to catch. But in Pokemon, whereas in Route 27, it's nowhere to be found. I don't get it. Something about Sandshrew and Arbok being version exclusive wild encounters that completely screws with the encounter tables in Gold and Silver. That makes them just needlessly different from one another. So you need a Pokemon with high affection ranking in order to nap this TM, which is TM27, Sandstorm. And that Pokemon needs to be in front of your party. So this was another happiness check that we need to perform. Arscon, wanna use Surf? Sure. You look pretty strong. Let me battle you. Alright. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go battle all the trainers ahead of time. And Silver is, because of this, Silver's encounter table's very wonky. Though it's not gonna interfere with Gold. The bright side about all this is that Silver's so far ahead that capturing the Pokemon routes 26 and 27 are not gonna interfere with one another. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use whatever moves I think are most optimal for battling these trainers. There is like a free in halfway through to the Pokemon League, so I don't have to worry about dying or running low on PP. And besides that, struggle off of Mewtwo is mad strong, especially with the level disparity. Alright, and Mewtwo use Ice Punch. Super effective. 1833. Ultra Brian was defeated. And there's TM22, which is Solar Beam. And as I said before, Gold is still trying to catch up with Silver here, because Silver really lagged behind thanks to really bad ordering and routing on my part. So I'm just gonna go ahead and... Come on. Alright, so... Something I absolutely need to remember are that even though we're in Kanto and typically there are no trainers that'll give you their phone numbers in Kanto, the exceptions are routes 26 and 27. The problem... And it's very easy to forget that you still need to get their phone numbers, these trainers' phone numbers from these routes. Now, if we miss a phone number or two, it's not the end of the world because we only have 3 empty slots left. 4 phone numbers, and there are 4 trainers whose numbers we need to get. So yeah, this batch is a batch of 9 instead of a batch of 8. Point is, we'll have to come back here later on when it's time to rematch this batch of trainers. Which is gonna happen a lot sooner than you think. You should underestimate the wild Pokemon in these parts. No, I'm not. Ultra Arena would like to battle. Go Mewtwo. And there it is. Just use Thunder Punch or Shadow Ball on the Starmie, and of course Thunder Punch the Quillfish. So yeah, Cool Trainer Gina is one of those trainers whose numbers we need to get. This Fisherman is not one of those phone numbers, though. It's very easy to forget who has numbers to give out because I used to just getting these numbers altogether. And by the way, that's something I'm going to need to do in Crystal version, as well as is rematch every single trainer and battle all their rematch teams too. So Fisher's got elected out, and oh yeah, I caught Ponyta in Silver version. Its hind legs, which have harder than diamond hooves, kick back at any presence it senses behind it. Alright, and that was when I realized Dodrio cannot be found in Route 26 in Silver version. It needs to be found in Route 27. So I decided to head back and use a Mewtwo Sweet Scent encounter. Which is funny because Gold can capture all three of them on Route 26. I don't get it. But we'll give Gold a chance to catch up. And we also caught Dodrio here. If one of the heads gets to eat, the others will be satisfied too, and they will stop squabbling. Alright, there's one more Pokemon for Silver to catch, and it's Doduo, which is fairly common. Or is it? No, it's not. We already have Eradicate. And now it's Gold's turn to pull ahead of Silver. Well, Gold catch Doduo now. Nope. It's still Eradicate. But don't worry, Gold is gonna battle this trainer first before going along with capturing Pokemon. So Silver's ahead. So Gold's ahead now. Technically. So I'm gonna use this opportunity to use Sweet Scent and complete my captures for routes 26 and 27 here. Doduo, which is a fairly common Pokemon. Capture it, and then I'm gonna capture whatever I wind up running into first in Gold version. Alright! There's Doduo here. It races through grassy plains with powerful strides, leaving footprints up to 4 inches deep. And now I need to heal my Pokemon here since I'm done with captures. And while Silver pulls ahead and battles the remaining trainers on this route, Gold's gonna stay put to make some captures. I caught Dodrio, 'cause I am so great! It collects data and plans 3 times as wisely, but may think too much and become immobilized. Alright. 1 down, 2 more to go. And yep, I'm just gonna go use Sweet Scent. So now for the less rare Ponyta, I think that's an uncommon. I'll worry about Rapidash later. Like, much later. And there's Ponyta here. It is a weak runner immediately after birth. It gradually becomes faster by chasing after its parents. Alright, all we need now is the relatively common Doduo. And there it is. Now both games are completely done with this route. Two, three. I caught Doduo, 'cause I'm so great! And now, by alternately raising and lowering its two heads, it balances itself to be more stable while running. And now both games are completely done with the captures on this route. But I need to heal up real quick. And I actually forgot to get this guy's phone number. Again, it's very easy to forget, oh yeah, there are phone numbers we need to get because we need to rematch these trainers immediately after we clear out the Pokemon League. Alright. Go Mewtwo. We'll go with Psychic again. So now, technically, Silver's ahead by one full battle. So I'm gonna just keep using Thunder Punch and all that jazz. Got it. So yeah, you can definitely tell how far ahead Silver is. There's the Max Elixir, and let's see if we remember. Yep, we remember the phone number. Now, believe it or not, this girl I'm about fighting Silver and Gold is actually the last trainer in the entire game that will give you their phone number. However, I completely forgot this. Shocker, but don't worry. Since I'm going to be rematching every trainer, sooner or later I'll have to pass through Route 26. Route 26 anyways, and Route 2 whatever trainer I need to rematch. So I'll use that opportunity to get their numbers. So, because Silver's still noticeably ahead of Gold, I'm going to use this opportunity to try to get an encounter with the Pokemon I need, and if I don't, after a certain time, I'll just repel in here. I need to use a repel here anyways, because both games use a repel. So yeah. Now, as I said before, each team in Gold and Silver, the trainers only update their teams after you pass certain story checks. And if you pass too many story checks, you could potentially miss out on a specific team for you to battle. But if you battle these same Pokemon. But in Pokemon Crystal, you still have to battle all the teams sequentially, which is why I didn't bother rematching anybody. Because frankly, I think I'd be better off just getting it all over and done with in one go. So yeah, I need to... Where are you, Rhyhorn? We have your evolution thanks to an in-game trade. Alright, you it? No. So don't forget the hidden max potion right there. Alright, here it is. Here's Rhyhorn. So this will be my opportunity to use a Master Ball on Rhyhorn. 3. I caught Rhyhorn, 'cause I am so great! It is inept at turning because of its 4 short legs. It can only charge and run in one direction. So Silver, meanwhile, is battling rival Fivel. Yeah, it's rival Fivel. So now that I have Rhyhorn and Gold, I can just use a Max Repel and skip all remaining encounters because that is the last Pokemon I need to catch this episode. Because Magneton literally resists every move Mewtwo learns, I'm just gonna hit with Stab Psychic for maximum damage. And of course, here's the full restore. And I need to nab both these items. TM28, which is 26, which is Earthquake. And now Gold gets to battle rival Fivel just as Silver is about to be all wrapped up with this dungeon. And my brain is still trained to just read the dialogues. Because that's what I've been doing for the better part of, I don't know, 20 episodes. So Gold begins his rival Fivel just as Silver had finished up with his battle. But Silver still needs to catch Rhyhorn, so obviously I'm gonna need to use Sweet Scent. And there it is. A Rhyhorn to add to my party. So while Mewtwo just blasts through all of Rival Fivel's team, I'm gonna read Silver's Rhyhorn's Pokedex entry. Alright, let's do this. Last Pokemon. It doesn't care if there is anything in its way. It just charges and destroys all obstacles. Alright. Unfortunately, Silver's still noticeably ahead of Gold. And that guy next to the Pokemon Center has an Abra that will offer a teleport you back to New Barktown. Which is nice, a nice way to avoid getting stranded and up here in the Pokemon League. But we are completely done here, and we're ready to move on to the Elite Four. Because Silver's this far ahead of Gold, I will have to slow down at some point. But because I was playing the 2 games simultaneously, and I wasn't really using much in the way of save states, I didn't really know how far ahead Silver was compared to Gold. And by the way, both Mewtwo's are equipped with the Amulet coin, so amount of gil I win is doubled with every battle. Lucky Egg is not going to be as valuable because Mewtwo is a traded Pokemon that's guaranteed to obey our every command because we have all 8 Johto Gym badges. Which is also the reason why I played all the way up until the Blackthorn City Gym and try to clear out whatever loose ends there happen to be. That way, before moving on, before trading with each other and getting both games ready to trade with Red and Blue. Thus moving on to Pokemon Crystal. I did all that because I ultimately decided that Mewtwo would be the most ideal candidate to solo the rest of the game with. I want to finish up my perfect playthrough. I want to do it, say, yesterday. So just as Gold started to get in its groove, Silver has just wrapped up his battle. I wonder if his main Zatu is at all equipped to deal with Mewtwo. With a Psychic type Pokemon, I should say. Probably not. In fact, there's only one Pokemon in this entire playthrough that is capable of tanking an attack from Mewtwo. Yeah, just one. So Thunder Punch deals neutral damage on Fortress because Fortress is Bud Steel. And Steel is resistant to a ton of types. Like Ice, Psychic, and Ghost type attacks by what a coinky dink. And I'm gonna battle Koga here. And Koga should be a cakewalk for Mewtwo because all of Mewtwo's attacks can hit for at least neutral damage. Oh. So yeah, that's what I'm really just doing, is battling through the Elite Four. It's kind of a shame, really, because there's not a whole lot left for me to do or talk about. Because Mewtwo is literally 30 levels higher than Koga's entire team. And it's generally 20 to 30 levels higher than the entire Elite Four. Plus champions, so obviously it's... I can't really discuss... There's really no point discussing strategies here, just find attacks that deal neutral damage or hit for super effective. Psychic is the longest attack, so ideally I want to use that as few times as necessary. However, it's super effective against fighting types. It's probably my best bet at dealing with Bruno's ace, Medicham. Oh. We'll say 4. And, oh yeah. And, yeah, there's really nothing that Koga can use that can deal with Mewtwo. Surprisingly, he never used Detect or Protect with, Hitmontop. Hitmontop knows that move, and yet the AI doesn't think to have him use it. I mean, Detect and Protect are both priority moves, which means they are guaranteed to go first, even ahead of Quick Attack. Psychic. And that's it for Silver's battle with Bruno, but Gold is about halfway done. But don't worry, I'm coming across a point in this playthrough where I will probably need to use a save state anyways. And this is also a part where I could very easily see that one Pokemon that can tank an attack from Mewtwo. Let's see what Karen does with this. That's Umbreon! So I'm gonna use Thunder Punch because fewer frames, and it does 75% damage. I had to be careful here because now all my attacks are 90 to 95% accurate. But don't worry, I will land every hit. She's starting off with all Dark types because Dark type is super effective against Psychic type. And none of them are naturally weak to Psychic. So anyways, Dark types are immune to Psychic type attacks. They don't work on them. So in a way, Dark type is the ultimate offensive counter to Psychic Pokemon, whereas Steel is the ultimate counter to Psychic type So I'm really sorry, I'm really tired. Alright. I'm gonna just stay still here. Crow fainted. You know, I need a strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon, yada. Champion is waiting. I've been waiting for you, Jimmy. I knew that you, with your skills, will eventually reach me here. There's no need for words now. We will battle to determine who is the stronger of the two of us. As the most powerful trainer and as the Pokemon League champion, I, Lance, the Dragon Master, accept your challenge. So I literally read that dialogue in order to close the gap a bit with Gold, between Gold and Silver. So obviously, first attack is going to be Thunder Punch to hit for quad weakness on a Pokemon that's 30 levels below my Mewtwo. So, go figure. Whereas Gold is just gonna blitz through Lance's dialogue. And obviously, Ice Punch on the 3 Dragonites. And Mewtwo used Ice Punch. Alright, and we're almost there, halfway done with Silver. So now Gold is only 2 Pokemon behind Silver. We'll use Thunder Punch on Aerodactyl, and Lance had 1 new Pokemon and had fully evolved his 2 Dragonair in a 3-year period. Again, this game is basically the prime example of, well, Pokemon levels are just an abstraction. So when you see fully evolved Pokemon that's severely underleveled, it's mostly just done for balancing issues. I do think actual level is mostly arbitrary and would not translate to real life. So Silver's wrapping things up, well, just as Gold is about to reach the halfway point of the battle. Unfortunately, because I'm sort of on autopilot here, I'm not reading any of the dialogue here. My determination here is to just synchronize the footage at a specific point. So that way the two games will be fully synced up, because no matter what, Silver's gonna have to wait on Gold. So Gold's wrapping up his battle with Lance, while Silver's entering the Hall of Fame. However, I'm gonna wait at the very last text box, so I could keep the footage between the two videos completely in sync with one another. So, and your partners as champions. So Silver's just waiting on Gold to catch up before we proceed, because I want both games to be fully caught up and in sync for the very end portion of this. It is kind of funny that I literally resumed my playthrough just to beat of Gold Silver, just to beat the game. But if you actually been following Pokemon Crystal, there is a whole post-game ahead of us. We're pretty much going to be committed to Gold and Silver all the way until we complete our Pokedex and defeat the final boss. Now that both clips are completely in sync with one another, and because the party order is identical, I don't need to worry about frames being off at any point. So long as both games remember to turbo through the final sets of text box near the end of this stuff. There's Mew, and there's Togetic. Yeah, it's kind of funny that there's Mewtwo and then 5 HM slaves. 226 seen, 189 caught. It's tough to do this alone. Have you been bothered trading? That's usually an indication that you're about maxed out in your base games. And in Gold and Silver, the most amount of Pokemon you can catch without trading with another game or using glitches like the duplication glitch is 199. If you just use the duplication glitch, then the cap is 205. No, wait. 207 because it's a +8. No, wait. That's not right. It should be a +6 if you were to use the duplication glitch, so it's 205 in this case. But wait, there's also the 9 evolutions. There's also the other evolution stones that you need to make use of. 3, 4, 5, 7, so a +7 on top of that would be 212. So if you were to use the duplication glitch, the max limit, and that's it, then the max limit is 212. But if you don't use any glitches or trade with another game, then the max cap is 199 Gold Silver and 206 to 207 in Crystal version. But that's it for now. Tune in next time when we begin the post-game of Pokemon Gold and Silver. Leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. With all out of the way, this is Mike Gorin, sign out.